Cloud cost management and FinOps has always been done in a reactive manner. Engineers write code, we ship it to production, we wait for the bills, which break budgets, then we do something about it. We react. Analyzing the cost and usage report is just too late. I think one of the core issues has always been that the engineers, who are the buyers of infrastructure, are never shown the costs of their code changes up front. They're not told about tagging issues at the right time. They're not told about cost optimization recommendations at the right time. I believe the right time to do all of this is in the code review process as the changes are being made, not after the fact. Now, if you're using infrastructure as code, all of these things can be shifted left, meaning we do these checks before the code has been shipped and the money's been spent, right? And that's what Infracost does. There's two main benefits that our customers always report. One, you prevent waste from going onto the bill in the first place, which is even better than saving money. It's preventative. And also, you save a lot of engineering time. There's less rework and less toil. So let me show you how Infracost does this. I have Infracost set up here in GitHub, but it works in any system. Now, every time an engineer opens a pull request, Infracost analyzes the code and posts this comment. It shows how much this code change is going to cost, just like a checkout screen for infrastructure, before we actually have merged it, right? So if I click on this, expand the details, you can see exactly which resources are being added, removed, and changed, and how much each one of those costs. Now, the engineer knows the cost impact. By the way, this works with your EDPs, your EAs, and custom price books. At the same time that the engineer sees the cost comment, so knowing how much it's going to cost, we actually do a couple of checks. The code is being checked against FinOps best practices, which I'll show you later. And I'm telling the engineer here, for example, your main Terraform file, line number 9, has a GP2 volume, and it should be upgraded to a GP3 volume because they're cheaper. And here's exactly what you need to do. You just need to change the root volume from GP2 to GP3. It's also telling them that the FinOps team has said that all resources must be tagged, and this resource is failing the tagging policy. So again, line number 9, classification tag has an invalid value. It's obviously a typo. These are the values that the FinOps team or the platform engineering team has said should be the values of the classification tag. So the engineer can take literally 30 seconds and fix all the issues right here. And this is critical. We not only prevent these things going into production in the first place and wasting money with a GP2 to GP3, but we're also going to save a lot of time by fixing the issues right here during the code review, not later. So that's what the engineer will see. They don't leave their workflow. They just get the work done at the exact same time as security tools are checking for security and we're checking for code quality. Well, let's do the FinOps and the tests and checks here as well. Now, let's jump into the management and automation panel. When you connect Infracost to your environment, we actually do a first scan and tell you all the resources in your current code base that are failing your FinOps and tagging policies. So we show you these here. And you can click on them and it will show you the exact lines of code and where these resources are failing. Later on, as it starts to scan for new pull requests coming in, it shows you all the issues and which ones failed, but also which ones the engineers took time to fix, and the cost, how much you prevented from entering the bills in the first place because you were using Infracost. And a final section here, which is I think is a pretty important one, which is the celebrating the engineers. We show you the governance heroes and the cost heroes, your engineers who are having the biggest impact to not only your bill, but fixing issues. This is massively impactful. Now, if I go to the FinOps policies page under here, you can see all the policies we've checked and we're checking the code for. These come out the box. You can also add custom policies into this list. For example, specific instance types or regions that should not or should be used by your engineers. Now, let's go into the tagging policies. This is where you say, hey, every resource that can be tagged must be tagged. So if I click on this, you say every single resource requires a Vanta tag, a team tag, and an env tag. And these are the exact values it can have, or a regular expression, or the value just has to be set. And then finally down here, you have enforcement mode, meaning if an engineer is trying to launch something without the right tags, it will block the pull request until they fix those issues. Finally, guardrails, if I go into here, this is like a super proactive budget alert. You can say anyone can launch infrastructure when they need and as they need. However, if a change is going to increase our bills by more than $5,000, I want an email notification to go out, or a Slack or Microsoft Teams message to go out. Or you can also select to, again, block the pull request, and this time trigger an approval workflow. And the people will get an email and they have to approve the budget. They see what the changes are and how much those changes are going to cost. They can approve it and it'll unblock the pull request and finish the approval workflow. Now, that is a very quick demo of just some of the features of Infracost. If you'd like a full live demo or have any questions, please reach out to us at hello@infracost.io. Thanks.